Hello and welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. Today we're going to have a reading about your health and wealth. So, what advice do your spirit guides have to you about your health, your body, and how to achieve a good balance also with your finances and possibly your career or whatever brings money into your life, and also the comfort of material abundance? So, the first pile we have Aries, Leo, Scorpio, and Pisces. Your significator card is the Mandrake. The second pile we have Aquarius, Taurus, Gemini, and Sagittarius. Your significator card is the Garlic. Okay, you can see it now. Second pile, we have Libra, Capricorn, Cancer, and Virgo. Okay, your significator card is Yarrow. Beautiful. Okay, I will leave you to choose your pile with your intuition, your significator card, or your zodiac sign. I will see you in your pile. Pile number one, let's start with the Mandrake. As many of you may know, the Mandrake is a plant associated with magic, and it has so many uses, and it's an amplifier of magic. It was used to also represent the human body like a fetish and like a little doll, because the roots resemble the human form. So the main meaning of this card is exactly wealth. So I really think that this is one of the best cards that could have come up in this specific reading. You can see the coins, the Celtic coins lying here. They are, money coming, wealth, abundance. It also means fertility and everything beneficial regarding sexual matters, love matters, romance. So it may indicate the coming of new love, a new relationship into your life. But also another very important side of this card's meaning is easing of pain, because Mandrake was used as an anesthetic. It was used in surgery. It also is that blessing on humanity to ease the pain of everyone. So it might be that something is easing your pain, or that you are also easing the pain of others. So a beautiful, beautiful card. Beautiful start for you. Okay, let's see. What else do we have regarding your health and your wealth? Okay. Transmission, experience, mastery, brain power, and telepathy. Interesting. Fields, collectives, service, harvest, equanimity. And healing. Wow. Transformation, rebirth, confrontation, and emptiness. So regarding your body, you can also see that the colors are matching the Mandrake. So I really feel like the Mandrake has like a central energy to this reading. A very big energy. I'm feeling something about the telepathy here, because Mandrake is also a narcoleptic, and it induces sleep, it induces the unconscious. So that's also interesting. So what do the fairies have to say? The Oakman. Well, let's see. He of the fiery sword. Iris of the rainbows. Sylvanius. Truth. The sword. How interesting. Very masculine energy here. A lot of masculine energy. I may be speaking to people who have a more masculine energy. Possibly that, specifically that masculine energy is also informing your actions right now, is also giving you the strength and the knowledge. So you're activating your more masculine side right now. Possibly because of some information that is coming from your subconscious. Maybe in dreams. Or a masculine energy is trying to contact you through your dreams, trying to tell you something. Iris of the rainbows has to do with turbulent times and with having the vision of the future of something is ending, a turbulent time is ending, but you're kind of still wrapping up. Something that took a long time. With the Oakman here, I feel like it's something very slow that is now ending. Something that was stuck for a long time. Okay, let's see what the tarot has to say. Justice. This also has to do with justice, this energy of the sword, of cutting through, dividing, having a clear vision of the right and the wrong in a situation. The Hierophant. Death. A lot of major arcana. The Knight of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. The Sun. The Empress. Five of Swords. And the Star. Okay. I feel like there's someone coming to you with an idea or with knowledge, possibly an expert in these matters. So if we're talking about your wealth, for instance, having the expert knowledge of someone help you to do what you want to do. You have the Hierophant and the Sun. I really feel like there's an illumination coming from an expert. So a truth that's coming, an understanding, a deeper understanding, even if it's a bit uncomfortable. It might be, but not to the point of, changing too much your understanding. I feel like it's more of a deepening. But then you have another aspect here, which is this Death and Empress, this center here is very interesting. I feel like there are two energies, two different energies that are here. I feel like your body is in a more feminine mode. There's a more receptive state in your body. I feel like you are healing if you have anything bothering you, which I don't see it here. You are healing from it with using your feminine energy, if this makes sense. Using this availability, this receptivity to heal. And about your wealth, about your physical material abundance, some information is coming that is going to deepen a knowledge, deepen an understanding about something. I would say it's an understanding about law, about regulations that needs to happen. And what's interesting here is because you have the Knight of Pentacles and the Five of Swords, I feel like you're going to not really change your course, but you're going to add something to that course. And although it's the Five of Swords, which is typically associated with defeat, with trying and not being able to do something, and that frustration, that, you know, it's almost like I'm not giving up. I am hearing something like, I know this, I have deepened my knowledge, and I'm not giving up. Because you have the Star here. I will still do what I have to do every day. I will still have my stability. I will just not give up. That's what although, you know, the Five of Swords here is not a happy placement, but it's like reinforcing your will in a way. It's like, although it's an adversity card, it's not a positive card in a certain sense, I feel like it's strengthening your resolve, which is very interesting. It might be just a moment that you feel like a little bit bothered by something, but you're so quick to recover. It's so interesting. The way the energy is flowing is so powerful. It's like I've been through so much. This is not going to make a dent. So if there's something that's coming towards you that is annoying, that is irritating, or that many people it would be more than annoyance. It would be something that would really throw them off. But for you, it's strengthening. So maybe this is also part of the healing, is that getting used to the confrontation, getting used to being involved. Okay, now I understand. I think that you are going to discover that in order for you to achieve what you want, you have to do like something that is not very pleasant to you, something that doesn't give you, you know, that enjoyment. But you're so strong, your will is so powerful, and you are so healthy. I feel like you are very healthy. And if you're not, this is something that is going to help you heal. So it might be an information that will be like, okay, if you want to heal this, you want to just do this a little bit longer. And you're like, oh, I thought I was over that. I thought this was, you know, something that was in my past and that I could move on quicker, faster. But it's actually something that will help you in the end, because your strength continues to be there. It's not something that will affect your spirit. You'll still be very strong, and you'll still be able to cope with it, to deal with it, and to thrive, to have this to be open to spirit, to, you're not going to feel defeated. That's what it's very curious that it's so okay. Let's try to be more specific and clarify. Ten of Wands, Three of Pentacles, the Hermit, two more, okay, the King of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have so much power. Possibly, you know, the Mandrake is really this, that rootedness that you have, that strength that comes from magic, and natural magic is so strong because we are working with nature's energy, and it's something that we don't really need to, there's no control, of course, but the way you interact with it is so fluid and natural. Possibly for the feminine side to be useful here is really, that's the most positive thing that I can focus on right now, is that availability, that strength of the feminine to be aware of others, aware of the surroundings, receptive to what is happening, and also being able to exchange your energy with others. Because there's so much self-awareness, there's so much deep knowledge of yourself, that whatever happens next just adds to your strength and your resolve. I really think that it's going to move you forward and closer to your objective. Something that is being presented to you that will feel like it's boring, like it's something that sets you back. I don't feel like it's something unexpected. That's what's also bugging me. It's like you're not going to be surprised by it. I think it's something that you were already, you know, you understood that you had to go through these steps so that you could get to your objective. I feel like there's a timing aspect here also. I'm thinking. Is there, I'll get some cards, possibly, for the timing. Maybe the timing is also something that is important here. So when Five of Pentacles. You know, I think that this adds to this point here. The Five of Swords, the Five of Pentacles is also a card of loss. I feel like you are going to possibly have some sort of expense, something that you have to invest in order to proceed, to continue. It will feel like a nuisance. It will feel like something that will set you back, but actually it is the necessary effort to move you forward. I think that you're going to get help from someone. Possibly this is why this receiving aspect is very important, so that you can have this flow of energy and not feel like you're lacking. The more you have this connection to that feminine side, the more you are going to be able to overcome this very quickly. So I think that that is why the masculine is being awakened. So this is confusing, I know. So the more you are on this feminine energy of receiving, the more you will attract the masculine energy that will come to help you achieve what you want. How interesting. And that masculine energy that is coming, either in yourself, because it's like something happens that strengthens your resolve and awakens that masculine. Because you are in your feminine, something is awakened in the masculine. And it's like pouring a glass into one and the other. If they're divided equally, they're like in a stasis, there's a balance, there's a stability, and there's like a certain order, right? But if you are juggling, there's a certain chaos, there's a little bit of loss, but there's dynamic, there's a dynamism, there's movement forward. So this alternation between the masculine and the feminine is what's moving you forward. And right now, developing that connection, or not developing, it's really well established by now, I think, but having a consciousness, having awareness that you are in this receptive mode, that you are in this feminine aspect of yourself, will attract the exact opposite. And that is when you change from one mode to another, that this dynamic force moves you forward. And meanwhile, this is happening, now I'm getting different information. Because like, meanwhile this is happening, there's another person or another entity here that is working with you, or possibly working for you, okay? So this entity is working for you, and this entity is connected to the law or to medicine, helping you process, helping you understand, either working with your body, working with what is, working with laws and regulations, having everything into consideration, balancing all the knowledge, and also bringing that knowledge to the forefront so that you can analyze and you can understand clearly, while you maintain this connection to that feminine side, that receptive side, that more, it's not passive, it's just more inwardly directed, but very self-aware, very conscious of what is happening, very aware of what is happening around you. And then suddenly the energy shifts completely, and it's that masculine aspect that arrives in your life to move you forward, and everything resolves, and everything, there's a conclusion, a logical conclusion that is a movement. So the logical conclusion of this is a movement. It's moving forward. That's why I feel like there's the masculine here. The masculine is the movement itself. That dynamic force propelling you like a rocket. Yeah. There's also a very interesting aspect here that is coming up with the Sylvanias and also Iris of the Rainbow, is that possibly this feminine receptive mode is very important, so that you are aware that you are better than you think you are. So this is also why this movement is needed, so that you are more, so that you are closer, so that you are getting to know the path towards your ideal. And for now, this is happening because of this new awareness that needs to come with your observation of your life and yourself, possibly connecting also with your body, working with your body. This expert here that is coming to help you, I feel like he's also bringing information that might help you achieve that state of being, that more, it can be more self-esteem. If you are having trouble with your body in any way because of past illnesses or something that, makes you feel unwell, or something that you want to change about your body because it makes you feel uncomfortable. It can be something that makes you feel disease, like illness, or just, something that you're not comfortable in a more emotional or psychological aspect, like how you see yourself, like your self-image or your self-esteem. So this information is coming to help you with that. The more you are self-aware, the more you realize what you are and what is around you, you are also changing, enhancing, let's say, how you see yourself. I really feel like there's a force that is pushing you upward. And you kind of have to be receptive to it, which is a little bit strange, but if you're receptive to it, it will move you to the places where you want to go. And I feel like this is a change, because the 10 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, something is creating, it's like an unfair treatment. It can be that in the past you maybe took the wrong medicine, if this is about your health. Maybe you felt like you were not on the right track with your health, like the way you establish your habits, your routines, your diet, your exercise routine, the relationship with your body. And also feeling this stagnation in what's related to money or finances. I don't think that you were, this reading is not for someone who was too restricted, let's say. It was overwhelming. It was a little bit tiring, but I don't feel like it's just about restriction. It's more than that. It's like the idea of restriction was worse than the restriction itself, which is interesting. This is a lot about self-awareness. This reading is a lot about connecting to yourself in a way that makes you aware of your real situation. So being as realistic as possible, and knowing that someone around you, there's knowledge there. If you're not connecting to that person, I feel like you will very soon. There's knowledge there. There are people who are willing to work with you in relation to health or wealth. There are people who want to work with you and want to inform you, that want to teach you, but also to make you aware that you are better than what you think. You know what? I think you're getting results soon, but after this. And I was talking about timing, and I was very confused about the timing. I feel like it can be, I don't think it's 5 months. But for some of you, it might be 5 months. I feel like it's more like 5 months for work and 5 weeks for your body. So something is propelling you forward and changing in your body and in the way you feel health-wise in 5 weeks. And in 5 months, I think you will have this jump start in something that you're working on that will just propel you towards your dreams somehow. And we must not forget that this is a very powerful, whatever this is in your life, it's very powerful. Everything that I'm talking about in your life is the thing that you feel the most powerful, because Mandrake is about that magic power that is very deep, that is very profound. It's in your body too. What is very interesting that the Mandrake came up, because this is, I think, one of the most powerful cards in relation to the body and to wealth. So super lucky card to come up, and beautiful, very interesting. The timing is very important. I do feel like you have to consider it carefully and use that timing until you achieve those objectives, 5 weeks and 5 months. Use that time very wisely. You will be very productive if you focus on that self-awareness. It will take you places. Thank you so much for this reading. It was beautiful. Thank you for your energy, your attention. And if you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2. Your card is the garlic, and everyone knows the garlic. Garlic is purifying, is an antibiotic. The Roman army would not work if they were not given their garlic rations. Garlic is so important, antiseptic. It's used in so many magical operations that you also might know. Of course, garlic repels vampires. This is something more of a literary or pop culture reference. But garlic is used also in Samhain as a repellent of bad spirits. Its meaning has to do with the possibility of introducing something into your life that is purifying. So instead of just letting something go in your life that's not working. You think that if I introduce something new, the bad things will go away. So this is an interesting concept about this card. It's such a rich plant. It's used in so many contexts. Let's see how it applies to you. Okay. Health and wealth. For pile number 2, do we have any more cards? Not really. Okay. Diet. Sacrifice, discipline, and forgiveness cure. Interesting. Deepest fears, bravery, temperance, selflessness. Okay. Let's see what the fairies have to say about your health and wealth. Death card. Something that is ending. Honesty. It's very in tune with the garlic card. Also all the colors. Very interesting. Okay. The fawn. Natural magic. You know, regarding your health, I really feel like you are blessed with a change. Something that is coming that is confronting you with possibly with a fear. But there's the strength to face it that is coming for you. And possibly this strength comes from some sort of discipline. So immediately I'm thinking about a specific exercise routine. You know, I'm seeing someone running or someone walking, running and running and facing your fears. Possibly mourning. So using your health, using garlic possibly can also help. You know, garlic gives me a lot of energy. I don't know how how this happens exactly. I am not, you know, a scientist, but I think that, or a nutritionist in this case, garlic, whenever I eat it, I just feel energized. It's like a kick, and it's spicy, it's hot, it burns a little bit, it stings, and the smell is really overbearing. For many people, it's impossible, but I kind of like it. There are periods in life when we are more, it's more difficult to ingest garlic. For example, pregnancy, even in childhood, children usually are not really fond of garlic. It's too strong. Possibly, I know in pile number 1, Mandrake was the card. It was quite difficult for me to advise people to ingest mandrake. Mandrake is a powerful, powerful plant. But in the case of garlic, it's something that is so easy and so common. You can get it in, you know, every grocery store. So maybe I would consider ingesting some garlic right now. It will possibly help you get some more energy to face, to mourn. I feel like there's this mourning that needs to happen. You need to, it's not letting go. It's not just letting go. It's properly addressing the natural ebb and flow of life. So it's much more than letting go. It's understanding that our life here has this cycle and has this arch, and it will take us towards many stages, naturally. We're not supposed to force this. This is something that is natural. This is very hard for us to do in our modern society, to embrace the natural cycles, because we are so disconnected from our body, so disconnected from natural rhythms, that it's very easy for us to kind of float through life instead of deeply engaging with these natural truths, these absolute natural truths, like death is a part of life. And honesty here is like facing this, eyes open, straightforward, and just facing this reality. It's not that painful, it's just, it is what it is. The pain, the suffering that comes from it, it's another story. It's something that has nothing to do with nature. It's something that is created by our language, by our thinking, by the way we interact as a collective, by, society. Because there's nothing more natural in life than death. It's something that is so obvious, but at the same time, it's so hard for us. And I feel like you are on the verge of mastering this reality, which is saying quite a lot. Because most people just don't ever face this. Okay, endurance with the 5 of stones. The world tree. There you go. 4 of arrows with rest. The stag. This is the justice card. The green man. Beautiful. Eight of arrows with struggle. 2 of stones with challenge. The blasted oak. And 7 of arrows with insecurity. There's a lot, I feel like there's a lot of mistrust in your own body, possibly because you have been through a lot. There's a lot of grieving that needs to happen, I feel. And instead of yeah, this is so clear, this pile. Thank you for that. I feel like the easiest way to go about this is not to ever think of letting go. Don't ever think that you have to let anything go, because nothing goes anywhere. Every energy that has been in this planet is still on this planet. We have access to everything, all the knowledge that everyone has ever had on this, pale blue dot. We have access to it. So nothing ever goes away. It's all cyclical. It's all just shape-shifting. It's like that in nature. We just have to observe it. It's very easy to talk about it. It's very hard to practice. I realize that. The advice here is to not focus on letting go. Focus instead on adding something. The garlic is here as a blessing to you. You can take garlic. This might be one thing that will maybe spark the whole process, and maybe starting with the food, starting with diet is the best way to do this. Starting with diet. Okay. You can take garlic, or you can just understand how to use this concept. And maybe add something to your life that you're not doing and that you feel like you should do. Garlic is exotic. It's also the concept of it, the exotic. So maybe going to a place where you have never been before, or trying food that you have never tried before, trying clothes that you have never thought you would wear, trying something that is exotic to you, something that is completely different, learning a new language, learning new concepts, something that is different. That's one way to go about it. Oh, and I take my garlic with honey. And I have been taking garlic with honey to help me with my sinus and with my colds, with sore throats. It's great to do this. Do this little cup of honey and garlic, and I sometimes put it in my food, or I just try to eat the honey right from the little cup, and it's really nice. You get used to it, so maybe this will help you or not. This is what I do for myself. I feel like you should take a break from, there are relationships here in your life, things that you are kind of trying to, maybe you're trying to be the bridge between something that is opposite from each other or that is challenging each other, and you should take a rest from that. You should probably distance yourself from that so that you can address the physical here. It's interesting that I'm not really getting the wealth aspect yet of this reading. Maybe that's not what really worries you right now. I'm just getting more of the physical aspect, the health aspect, which is interesting. I feel like you have to get that confidence back in your body and then worry about the rest. There's no need to worry about the rest if you don't have health. Health is the most important thing. So when you wake up in the morning, the most important thing is that you can get up and you can breathe and you can, go about your business and you can do the things that your body allows you to do. And then the money problems come, because if you don't have health, you don't have money problems, right? You just can't even address them if you don't have the basics, which is the strength to get up in the morning and do what you have to do. And I feel like this is the most important thing right now. So if you have also money issues, I would say they come after this. This reading is really telling you that if there's any money issues also here, it's not saying don't worry. It's just saying put them in, not in your first, they're not the first point in your priority list. They should be a little bit downwards. Okay. If you're not really having problems, and I think that this reading is for people who are having problems, but if that's not your case, I would say that getting better, even better than what you are right now. If you are feeling good, that's fantastic. You should try something different. You should try the exotic. Introduce something into your life. And although the sacrifice card and the diet here might make us think of like cutting things from our life, I would say that because we have the garlic as the main card, don't cut things away from your diet or from your day. Try to introduce more things. Because this whole reading is telling me that you need more information. You need more things in your life. In your life, focusing on yourself. I also think that focusing more on your own needs and yourself right now is the way to get better or to get out of a difficult situation here. And just not engaging too much in things that are out of your control. Just really being very efficient and very well managed is going to take you a long way. It's going to bring you a lot of stability. And also the confidence. I really feel like there's a confidence issue here. You really need to trust yourself more, to trust your own body, to trust your own judgment. And that may also apply to the money part. Money and abundance and wealth here. Okay, now I'm seeing that let's see that layer of the reading. So if I would address the money and wealth part, I would say that you have to have more control over what you're doing. So focusing more on what you can control, what is in your hands, what you can do alone, by yourself, and possibly for yourself. Being your own best advocate, being your own best defender is the best way to go, and not really try to take other people's side and to consider what other people are thinking or saying. Just give it a rest. Just, they go do their thing and you do yours. Don't get too involved in what other people are saying, what the opinions and all the different things they have to, to tell you, and just trust yourself more, trust your gut, trust your thinking, don't be derailed. This is managing like property, managing your wealth, your estate, managing your career, choosing what to do with your money, how to do it, being very self-reliant in a way is also the best collaboration, is also the best way to collaborate, let's say. Okay, clarify. The Five of Cups with ecstasy. Ace of Arrows with the breath of life. Eight of Vessels with rebirth. And the Ten of Pentacles with home. Interesting. I really think like you have to cut off some people from your life, really. I feel like there are interactions in your life that are really not helping you right now. And although it might feel like there's instability and there's a little bit of craziness and chaos, or maybe people will judge you possibly people will judge you for repelling them, let's say, or for having more distance. But you really need to feel at home in your body. You really need to feel at home in your own experience. And all the energy around you is interfering with that. It's creating different stories and narratives that are not helping you. And you need to add something to your life that repels this. So the garlic repels the vampires, which is interesting. Possibly you have vampires in your life. Some people are a little bit like vampires. We all know that. But we just let them, right? We are the ones who have to decide if they're allowed to be in our life, if they are allowed to have access to our feelings and our energy. And I feel like you have the power to decide that. You have the justice here. It's just that it's kind of hurtful, possibly, but you're ready. You're very ready. Possibly you have been ready for a long time, and you just lacked a little bit of that courage, that it really triggered your fears, right, to face this. So, there might be a little bit of it's like blackmailing you, emotional blackmail. But if you think of this in another way, which is to see the other person, it's like the most gentle thing you can do to someone who is doing that to you is letting them go, which is kind of the reverse of what many people think they are doing. It's like, oh, I am abandoning, this person. This person needs me, because the vampire needs you, right? So sometimes we twist things around, and we just... The fact that someone needs you doesn't mean that it's a good need. Like, it doesn't mean... It's like you're enabling someone. So if that person is addicted to heroin, for example, and you keep giving them the money to buy heroin, you're enabling them. If that person is used to you giving them some sort of supply, emotional, whatever, usually it's just attention. If that person is used to it, when you take it away, that person there will be a backlash. But that's the most selfless thing that you can do for that person, is to not give them the thing that is causing the disease, the thing that is causing this dynamic that is not healthy for anyone. And because you need to focus more on yourself and to have more confidence in your decisions, both in your relating to your health and your body, as well as your money and managing your physical existence, you really don't need this energy in your life. So you have to kick it out by adding something. Possibly the garlic, maybe the garlic breath will turn them off and turn them away from your life. That's funny. It happens, right? It's garlic, it's very hard. And yeah, possibly they will hate the smell and they will leave. So I hope this was useful. This was heavy and strong reading, but if you're very decisive and honest with yourself, I think that this will be easier than it looks right now. If you eat the garlic, possibly it will help. And yeah, I feel like there's a humorous feeling here, which is kind of contrasting with all the seriousness and because I really feel like you're tired of this situation, and it's very draining, and it's you need time to mourn something. You need time to understand what has happened to you, so that confidence in yourself and that focusing more on your body and what you can do actually for yourself right now, being your best advocate, is the way, to conclude the situation and move into a new space where you can mourn or grieve, where you have to, I feel like you have to grieve, but it's not something bad. It's actually something kind of purifying. It's like taking a powerful antibiotic, right? You need to get that bacteria down. You need to submit the bacteria, and That's what is righteous. That is what is going to help you survive and thrive and be powerful and assertive and stable in your life. Be a good home for yourself. Maybe the humor part will also help. So garlic is very funny. Okay, I hope you also enjoyed this reading. I really enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3. Your significator card is the Yarrow. And the Yarrow is connected to masculinity, virility. The masculine power is very, very strong here. You have that serpentine energy that really reminds me of also Kundalini energy. But this is also connected to every masculine entity, every masculine god, that energy that we sometimes connect to so that we can achieve, so that we can climb higher, so that we can ascend. And it's also connected to commitment, which is also very interesting. So it's the card that has to do with fidelity, with contracts, with agreements. So compromise is also another aspect of this reading. But let's see what else comes up. Okay, what more do we have? Okay, a lot of cards. Let's see. Revisions, learning in silence, studying, reason, discernment. The blank card. Okay. Love, childlike innocence, play, honesty, essence. And strangers, future, innocence, innovation, turning point. Okay, I'm getting a picture of what this might be, but let's see. What else do we have? Do we have any more information? I felt like there was another card, but let's see. Maybe this one. Okay. Again, Sylvanus. Penelope, Dreamweaver. You see? Future, innovation, Dreamweaver. Oh, wow. The Maiden. The Love. That's interesting. Love and innovation. Technology. It's like technology. This card also kind of reminds me of technology, like the binary, like the codes, like the Matrix style, you know, of seeing code. And Fluff the Footer. Okay, so right away, I have a picture here, that is very auspicious for you right now to start something, whatever it is. If it's something that will bring you a lot of wealth and you have visions, you have ideas, do it. Just start planting the seeds. Faf the Footer is about grounding, is about putting things on the ground also. So sowing the seeds. Penelope Dreamweaver is about the vision, is about dreams, is about also getting this inspiration, this magical, how do I say, it's intuition, it's inspiration, it's the card of the visionary. It can be through information that comes through your dreams, your meditations, walks, whatever inspires you. I really feel like this reading is urging you to be quick and decisive, cutting through the bullshit, let's say, cutting through and achieving what you want, and being really connected to, I'm getting a different way of saying this. So doing things just because you love them is going to produce great results down the line. So doing things just for the pleasure of doing them is going to be a fantastic way to discover the future, to innovate also. I feel like you're doing something that is very innovative. And because it's very different, it's kind of groundbreaking, you need to love it. So the more you have pleasure, the more you understand what you need to do to manifest this dream, this vision that you have. It's very interesting. So I think this has to do with the wealth aspect. So the way this also intertwines with the health aspect is that you need to feel good in your body. So whenever you feel pleasure, whenever you feel like you're having a lot of fun, like you're playing, like it's not serious, like you're so relaxed, I feel like this is the best indication that you're doing the right thing. So your body needs to have fun. Your body needs to relax as much as you can by doing things that give you a lot of pleasure. So whatever sparks your passion and makes you feel alive and playful and fun, that's the thing you should be doing for your health and for your wealth, which is really interesting. And I feel like you have this carte blanche from the universe to experiment, to discover something innovative. So it's something that other people can't really guide you to do, because you're groundbreaking. You are discovering. There's no maps here. Judgment. Eight of Pentacles. Interesting. Ace of Cups. King of Swords. Garuda. Okay. Queen of Arrows or Swords. So the King and the Queen. Oh. Two Queens. Queen of Cups. Two of Staves, of Wands. Sorry. And the Two of Cups. King of Cups. In what's related to wealth, I see you working in partnership. Partnerships are very important. Choosing the right partner. Choosing the right partner is very, very important right now. If you already know who that person is, there's no doubt. I really feel like there's an emotional intuition. It's like you love working with that person, you love that person. That's something that you are choosing to continue. related to health. I get this idea of that pleasure that really is so important. Like if you knew how important it is to have pleasure with what you eat, with what you dress, what you wear, with, you know, whatever. Also aesthetic pleasure, like watching a good movie, watching a TV series that you really like, puts you in this amazing mood and makes you feel like the sensory the sensory I'm so sorry, experience of life is good. It engages with you, with your being. That's very important. But I also see something here. It's quite different. The Judgment and the Eight of Pentacles here. This specific Eight of Pentacles is a lot about being interrupted, being engaged with, but maintaining the course of action. So don't be perturbed, don't be disturbed by what's happening around you, or by not what's happening around you. Be receptive, but when you don't like something, really listen to that. Really understand what is happening and don't engage. Don't waste time with things that you don't like. I think that probably you are changing from a mode of being that is more mind oriented. So like I'm choosing things because they're rational instead of taking pleasure in your choices. So I think there's a change here. And if you take pleasure with your choices, for instance, if you are connected to your body, you know exactly what you have to eat, what you have to drink, because you understand when you're thirsty, when you need something else, right? When you need to put on a coat because it's cold. But if you're distracted, if you are engaged with things that are taking up your attention, you kind of forget about your body and you neglect your needs. So, having this baseline of just having more pleasure with your life, physical pleasure, is something that will give you a lot of health. I don't see any sort of disease or illness here. I just have this advice. So if you have any illness, if you have any problem, any issue, any discomfort, the advice here is to focus on the sensory experience. If the sensory experience is displeasing, consider what you are doing and be careful with what is happening. Because you should stick to your own experience. It's very important that you focus on that sensual pleasure, because it will give you the hints and the cues that are important for you to follow, so that you have this flow of emotions also, so that your emotional state and your state of mind, your disposition, your receptivity to what's happening, your mind is clearer if you have this peace, this peaceful experience with your own sensory stimuli. I actually think that regarding health, and of course this is just a story. If you have any sort of problem, of course you have to consult an expert, and this is just a tarot reading. But what I'm seeing here is more related to psychological states, psychic states also. This reading might also be indicated for people who have some sort of clairvoyance or clairaudience or extrasensory capabilities, let's say. Everyone has it, but some people have them more developed, and possibly creates a hypersensitivity to your environment that you need to take care of. You need to be gentle and kind enough with yourself to understand how to manage that situation so that you have a good, healthy mind. Because I see that many of the symptoms or the discomforts that you might have come from not being aware of that sensitivity and not respecting your boundaries, not respecting your limits, and pushing too much. Pushing yourself too far. So having this respect having this respect for your heart, for the softer space in you, for the kind, pure, heart-centered being that is there, taking care of it like a very, very precious thing. Taking care of yourself as you are so precious. You know, like the maiden here. If you look at this being here that's so pure and innocent and beautiful, it's impossible not to want to protect it and to preserve this innocence. Okay. So regarding wealth, this is also important, because this having fun and playing with things has to do with this. It can be considered immaturity if it's if the context is wrong, it's immaturity. But if the context is right, it's playfulness, it's love, it's innocence, it's the essence of everyone. Because as you might know, many of you know for sure, there's this work in psychology that's called inner child work. And because it's working with the purest aspect of yourself, with the essence, with what is absolutely essential in you. And the rest is just constructions and, you know, things that can be discarded because they're not essential. What is essential is that child. So that is your compass for whatever you're doing right now, is to focus on that play, on that innocence in yourself. If you feel like that, then you are engaging with the right business, let's say. Okay, let's clarify. Let's see. What else do we have? Page of Wands, Pages of Wands. Four of Pentacles. The Empress. Ten of Wands. And the Hermit. Huh. I see something that you are doing that is very unique to you. There's something artistic here, probably related to your wealth. Um, Something that you're doing. Well, it's also related to your health because art is a therapy. Art is also a way of healing, of making things whole, of integrating. I feel like you're choosing a path that brings you wealth. The Empress here is represented by Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is, of course, the goddess of material abundance, but also the goddess of spiritual abundance. So, engaging with your spiritual life, engaging with your spiritual path, with your path, your specific path, the thing that only you can do. There's no one else that can do this. Your spiritual path is unique to you. And whatever you do with your unique abilities is going to make you stand out, of course, but it's also going to heal you. Because sometimes we end up doing things that other people understand. We do things so that other people understand what we are doing. And we end up kind of limiting our, let's say, our abilities. The presentation of our abilities is limited. The experience of our skill is limited because we also want to be received or understood on the other side. But if you do something just for fun, out of love, out of playfulness, you will actually be enhancing your wealth because people will see you as someone unique, that only you are capable of doing that thing, or only you have that specific skill. I think this is also a recurring theme. I've had other readings that had a lot of blank cards and recently. So I think that this energy of doing something unique to show to the world something very specific to you is the innovation that is needed right now. So having this spiritual understanding of your wealth is what is opening more doors and opportunities to you, and what is it's like the perfect, when I see the Hermit and the King of Cups here, I feel like it's the perfect expression of your inner landscape, but transposed into a medium or a project or something that puts it outside, that puts it expressed and out into the world, so that it becomes interesting, it becomes attractive. I also think that being able to continue down this path that seems to be, maybe sometimes it's a little bit lonesome. That's why I also feel like this stranger card is here. Because innovation is lonesome. It's a lonesome process. If only you have a vision, if only you understand something, there needs to be some sort of effort that is done to show other people your vision. But you just have to show other people your vision. You don't have to shape your vision towards the expectations of other people. That's why you have the Eight of Pentacles here. This specific card is about sticking to the plan, sticking to what you know, doing things in spite of. Maintaining that peace of mind, maintaining that perfect composure, and going through the motions, showing other people your charisma, your uniqueness, possibly even quirkiness. This is also coming up a lot. Because I say quirkiness because if you're childish and if you're playful, it might seem like it's something that is like a game, or like for other people, it might be considered something immature, childish. But the thing is, because of the context, I feel like it's not going to be interpreted in that way. It's going to actually be something that you will be regarded as, I think people will admire you for taking up this responsibility. There is a lot of the responsibility. I feel like you also feel it, but it's a part of this. And I think that if it wasn't for this responsibility, you wouldn't have so much fun. You wouldn't have as much fun as. So yeah. Something is coming up also. Something is emerging from a situation. Possibly it already have. Yeah, I think that what you are doing now came to you possibly in your dreams, or what you have to do. And this is related to your wealth. But I feel like your wealth, your spiritual, your wealth, your spiritual health, and your psychic and psychological, emotional health, they're all connected right now. And your psychological state is influencing your body. So regarding your health, I would focus on your state of mind, your psychological, and the dynamic, in your psyche. I feel like there are people here who are extra sensitive, so being mindful of that, of those boundaries, because these are new boundaries. A lot of our social networks and our social structures are not ready to respect and to consider these new skills that people are developing, that are very important to the collective evolution. Some people might consider this to be like, you're too sensitive, you're too easy to bother, or you're too, I don't know, there are a lot of misconceptions regarding psychological health. That's my opinion, that's my vision, at least for me and my personal experience. I feel like we are not using or benefiting from certain types of people, especially the very sensitive people and the people who have extrasensory sensitivity, we are not benefiting from them because we are not taking those skills into consideration, because those skills also come with a set of conditions. Like if you want to maintain a healthy mode of being while still having those channels open, if you are a spiritual person, you need to have some sort of discipline and some sort of structure that is good for you. I'm not saying that you have to follow any tradition if it's not something that appeals to you, but if it is, maybe it's beneficial. If it's not, that's fine, as long as you find some sort of thread that you can hold on to when you are experiencing the turbulence, let's say. So respecting that structure, that sensitivity, that's also very, very common in artists and like creative people who can seem like a little bit all over the place. I really think that like harnessing this vigor, harnessing that energy, that potential that is coming, and directing that energy. So I would say that, yeah, the main theme of this reading is directing this raw energy, this creative, masculine virility that is coming. Now other things started to come to me. You know, possibly you're really learning something, because learning in silence, studying, reason, discernment, possibly I think you're going to get an information, possibly through your dreams, that is going to power a decision for you or a creative endeavor. I really think like you're going to have this stroke of inspiration, this stroke of luck, possibly. Possibly also that's why the Empress is here, and I really feel like, oh, I think that you're going to have a blessing coming to you, and you're going to feel like you are not even able, although you are, of course, but like it's very hard for you to understand how to manage all the wealth that is coming to you. Like it's a lot of responsibility. And I also feel like you have never had anyone in your family or in your immediate surroundings that can really help you with this. I really feel like you are going to have to kind of open the pathway by yourself. You're going to have to discover. There's not really a map here. You're going to really have to find out and to experiment and try things, and yeah, study yourself. Like you have to study, you have to learn how to deal with the wealth that is coming. Do you want to know when? Like, that's interesting, maybe. How to manage all this abundance. And when is it coming? When is there a timing? Can we know? 3 of Wands. I think you're already seeing it. Really. It's like you're seeing it coming and you're like, what am I going to do? This is insane. Like this is I already see it's coming, you know. What am I going to do? But you're going to be so happy. It's something that you love so much. It's something that really brings out that child in you. So yeah. Health-wise, just be mindful of your boundaries. If you're a very sensitive person, if you're artistic, if you are like a sponge, you know, be very aware of your boundaries so that your body doesn't suffer because of your psychic, like the way you soak up the psychic energy around you. And regarding health, wealth, I feel like you're getting this massive influx of wealth and things to do also. I think you're going to feel like, what am I going to do? But I don't think that you'll be sad. There's no sadness, there's no anxiety, there's not a negative thing that I can see here at all. There's just this feeling of overwhelming, like, how am I going to deal with all this? It's a lot. It's like the Empress and the Ten of Wands is like having a lot and not even knowing. Like you have this massive estate suddenly that you get and you're like overwhelmed at all the little details, or you engage with like a new company, a new endeavor, a new project, and you have so much to learn, but you're so happy and things are going so well. You're really going to stand out from the crowd. You're being you know, seen as someone super artistic and charismatic and interesting. And it's already happening. So all the little cues are already presenting themselves to you. You just have to be, you know, mindful of them. And if you're not there yet, I'm sure you are getting some kind of information in your dreams, and once you get that information, you are going to act immediately. You just put it on the ground like a seed. You have a dream and you just put it on the ground immediately. It's like a child that says, you know, everything that comes to their mind, like the first thing that comes to their mind. And it's the truest thing, it's the most honest and innocent thing that is going to be the most powerful thing for you right now. That thing that really drives your creativity. Beautiful reading. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.